Hello everybody, Cracked Rack here, and today we're going to be taking a look at 10 websites that were shut down by the FBI. The FBI does not frequently shut down a website. It's something that only happens when such a crude disrespect of the law is showcased online that the FBI has no choice but to put the kibosh on the whole operation. Frequently, this treatment is reserved for websites that distribute illegal narcotics, illegal pornography, and pirated content. Another super popular reason for an FBI shutdown is online prostitution rings, where women who could possibly be underage are advertised in posts throughout these sites to desperate and lonely men and women. So without further ado, here are 10 websites that the FBI shut down. If you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, and hit the post notification bell to be alerted when I upload. Let's get into this list, which will only vary in severity as it goes on. Number 10. Safe/inet.com. On the internet, there's a lot of illegal stuff you can get away with pretty easily. The most common way to commit a crime over the internet, whether that's piracy or purchasing something illegal, is by using a proxy or VPN to disguise your digital footprint from your ISP and possibly the police. Most VPNs out there are completely legal and are mostly used by people just trying to watch Netflix in another country or download a PC game from 10 years ago illegally. However, everything has its limits. And that is where safe/inet.com comes in. See, most VPNs still have their cracks. They aren't immune to errors, and also most VPNs can still be reverse tracked by the FBI if you do something really illegal, like download illegal porn. But what happens when you have a VPN service that completely kills the FBI's ability to tap into illegal activity altogether? That was the dangerous VPN service known as safe/inet. Safe/inet has been around for a little while now, and it's notoriously been used by many sexual deviants and cybercriminals to commit heinous acts online like theft, distributing CP, and even worse things. Luckily, in late 2020, the FBI caught onto who was responsible for shielding these criminals and took action on the site, which has now been seized by the FBI. Number 9. Mega Upload. Mega Upload was a gigantic site created in 2005 that actually had the endorsement of many giant public figures. It was pretty much a piracy site, though far more dangerous in terms of practicality than any other way of pirating. The reason is because if you want to pirate something large and significant in 2021, you are going to have to use a peer-to-peer service, so something like uTorrent. These P2P services, if you don't have a VPN, will easily alert your ISP to your activity, which can get your internet shut down. However, the reason Mega Upload was dangerous is because it wasn't P2P. It offered direct downloads of large and significant pirated files for you to discreetly download through your browser, which wouldn't alert your ISP to anything unusual happening. Mega Upload had a massive reputation for being used for piracy, and that was 90% of what it was being used for. I actually remember using this website quite a lot as an early teen and kid, even pirating Grand Theft Auto San Andreas through this website. Though in 2012, the FBI finally caught on to what this website was about, and they promptly shut it down, following thousands of copyright complaints. Number 8. Handbag.pop.com. Counterfeit merchandise is a gigantic problem everywhere in the world, particularly the United States and China. It is essentially the act of recreating a brand's product down to every detail in an attempt to profit off of the brand name without actually selling that brand's real products. This is not only harmful for the consumer, but is just incredibly illegal in general, especially when it comes to copyright law. The most common form of counterfeit besides money are luxury clothing items, particularly things like shoes and Gucci handbags. This site, known only as Handbag Pop, was part of a 2010 FBI operation to crack down on counterfeit merchandise. On December 10th, 2010, over 100 different websites selling counterfeit merchandise were completely shut down, and Handbag Pop, one of the most popular of all the websites on that list, was no exception. Handbag Pop was a website that essentially just sold really expensive counterfeit merchandise versions of handbags flags. Anyway, counterfeit is a serious issue that not only affects the economy, but consumers who aren't getting the quality products they deserve. Number 7. QuantumStress.net. DDoSing is the act of flooding a network or IP address with hordes of packets and traffic until said network temporarily shuts down. It's one of the most common script kiddie hacks out there, and yeah, overall, it's just a super common act you will see happen all over the internet. Now, there are actually lots of sites out there that will help you. For a small fee, DDoS pretty much anyone you want without having to know anything about hacking. However, one site in particular got shut down by the F.B.I., that site being QuantumStress.net. What separated Quantum Stress from the bunch of DDoS sites was its pure power and quality and accessibility. See, most DDoS sites are really amateur in nature, and at best you may be able to take down a small website for a few minutes. However, Quantum Stress definitely lived up to its name. This website and tool allowed you for a decent price to DDoS literally anyone or anything for a really long time. Like, these attacks could take down government websites, which resulted in it actually getting taken down by the FBI in 2018. The 24-year-old owner of the website, known as David Bukowski, was sentenced to prison in 2020 for his cyber crimes. Don't DDoS people, kids. It does far more damage than you think. Number 6. Operation Pangaea 14. Counterfeit is an issue with clothing and merchandise for sure, but another horrible yet incredibly common counterfeit practice online is the practice of selling fake medicine or non-prescribed medication to unsuspecting people. That is where Operation Pangaea 14 comes in. Pangaea 14 is an operation created by the F.B.I. and Interpol that is heavily dedicated to stopping these fake medication websites, as they can cause death or deadly addictions, and are also distributing other illegal substances like meth out to people very easily as well, which is extremely dangerous. This spot on the list isn't a specific website because I don't want to give the names of any websites that do this to encourage people, as some are actually still up to this day. Operation Pangaea 14 has already stopped over 100,000 of these fake websites within a year. That is an astoundingly scary number because those are just the websites that have been detected by the FBI. Number 5. WeLeakInfo. Identity theft is an extraordinary crime that is extremely common throughout the United States, as is password theft. WeLeakInfo was a website created a few years back that's sole goal was to illegally sell people's personal information that had been stolen through various means. You could get anything from Steam account passwords to bank account information from unsuspecting people that had been swindled. How this website took so long to get noticed by the FBI is beyond me, though in 2020, the website suffered from an FBI seizure. Number 4. Booter.ninja. Booter.ninja was a website that gave people access to the same tools used over at QuantumStress.net. Not much to be said about this website other than the fact that it was the direct alternative to QuantumStress.net, though ominously enough, the individuals behind this website have never been caught and never will be. Number 3. Craigslist Personals. Craigslist Personals was a section featured on Craigslist back a few years ago. It was an unfiltered and unregulated rabbit hole of degeneracy, the likes of which you'd usually only find on the deep web. While Craigslist on its own was usually about finding cheap things at convenience from your community, Craigslist Personals section was about finding nearby people in your community that were looking for sex. Now, Craigslist would claim this section was for people looking to find people to date, and while this may be the case for a select few people, 95% of people used it only for sex. Though the reason this place was closed down wasn't because of all the sex. It was closed down because pimps were taking advantage of the convenience and anonymous nature of Craigslist to advertise their women. For many years, many women who were victims of severe human trafficking had been passed through Craigslist as if it was nothing. Many prostitutes have died as a result of encounters from this section of Craigslist. While this one didn't officially get shut down by the FBI, had Craigslist not removed this section, the FBI would have shortly after seized the entirety of Craigslist. Number 2. Backpages. Backpages is the Craigslist Personals section on steroids, to sum it up nicely. While Craigslist Personals section was definitely degenerate, it was only a very small portion of the website. Half of the entirety of Backpage was literally for sex or other degenerate adult doings. And if you thought Craigslist was bad, on Backpages it was common for years for actual children to be sexually human trafficked through Backpages. Backpages has also been responsible for dozens of of murders due to its sketchy community and easy access to predatory people. It was created in 2004 initially as a Craigslist knockoff, though due to its amateur and sketchy nature, it attracted a large crowd of suspicious people, some of which would go on to murder and or sexually assault people they found through the site. Luckily, in 2018, Backpages was finally seized for the solicitation of prostitution. A short while later, the CEO of Backpage, Carl Ferrer, was arrested for pimping and conspiracy to pimp minors. He will likely serve the maximum sentence, which is 5 years, and will have a nasty stain on his personal record for the rest of his life. Number 1. Boys Town. Child pornography is one of the worst and most pressing issues in the world. It's something that happens so frequently, though so few know of its range. The number 1 spot on this list is a horrible dark web website that was infiltrated by the FBI a few months ago and rightfully seized. The website was known as simply Boys Town, followed by a bunch of Tor browser link components. This website had over 400,000 registered adult users, and its entire purpose was to showcase young boys under the age of 12 getting, well, you know. Toddlers were a really common genre on this website to make things far worse. Though luckily a few months ago, the FBI and a few other international organizations shut the website down for good, forever ending one of the biggest slices of hell on the internet. I won't get much further into this because there's no need to. Anyway, if you all enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the post notification bell to get alerted when I upload more content. That's all for today. See ya.